This morning you probably ate something without thinking much about it. Perhaps bread, perhaps eggs, perhaps a hastily cut piece of fruit. Your body processed all of this as if it were the most natural thing in the world. But the real answer about what your ancestors ate is much stranger than any fad diet has ever tried to sell you. You've heard of the Paleolithic diet: lean meat, low carbs, no grains, no sugar. The idea sounds logical. If your ancestors lived like that, your body should function better that way too. But when researchers actually went to dig into this story, literally, what they found didn't match the script. Start with the teeth. Teeth hold memories. Every groove, every residue trapped in the enamel is a time capsule. In 2011, anthropologist Amanda Henry analyzed fossilized dental plaque from Neanderthals found in Belgium and Iraq. She expected to find signs of a diet dominated by meat. Instead, she found starch grains from cooked plants, tubers, seeds, even hints of what might have been wild barley, processed before being eaten. Neanderthals, the very ones pop culture painted as brutal hunters driven by raw meat. Does this change anything for you? Think for a second about how many times you've justified a food choice by saying, "This is more natural," or "Our ancestors didn't eat like this." The truth is, your ancestors ate almost anything that didn't kill them first. Anthropologist Katharine Milton spent decades studying wild primates to understand the evolution of the human diet. She discovered something counterintuitive. Primates with more restricted diets, specialized in a single type of leaf or fruit, tend to have smaller brains. On the other hand, generalist primates who eat a little bit of everything carry proportionally larger brains. The reason is simple. A varied diet requires a brain capable of remembering where each food is, when it ripens, and how to process it safely. Eating everything wasn't a luxury. It was forced cognitive training. And here is the part that no one puts on the cover of a diet book. Your ancestors didn't choose between meat and plants as if they were reading a menu. They ate what was there. On the African savanna, that meant fibrous roots that required hours of chewing. It meant larvae, insects, eggs stolen from nests, mollusks torn from rocks at low tide. It meant, yes, meat, when the hunt was successful or when there was a carcass left over from another predator. But meat was a rare event, not a daily routine. Why does this matter so much? Because it reveals something about how your body was put together. It wasn't designed for a single type of fuel. It was designed to adapt. It was designed to survive uncertainty. Now we come to the point that truly separated your ancestors from the rest of the animal kingdom. Fire. Harvard anthropologist Richard Wrangham has argued for decades for what became known as the cooking hypothesis. The central idea is simple and, at the same time, radical. Cooking wasn't just a convenience. It was the event that allowed the human brain to grow. Raw food requires an enormous digestive system to extract enough energy from it. Cooked food already arrives partially broken down. Proteins denature, starch gelatinizes, fibers soften. Your body spends much less energy digesting cooked food than digesting the same food raw. According to Wrangham, this energy savings was reallocated. Where to? To the brain, the most expensive organ to maintain, biologically speaking. Stop for a second and think about it. The ability you are using right now to read, interpret, and question what you are hearing may have its roots literally in a campfire lit more than 1,000,000 years ago. But not everything was a perfect balance. There were entire seasons of scarcity. There were winters in some regions, prolonged droughts in others. During these periods, the human body resorted to stored fat, muscle, to any available source. It was this pressure, this constant alternation between abundance and famine, that shaped an incredibly flexible metabolism. A metabolism that today, surrounded by food available all the time, often no longer knows when to stop. This explains something about you, that sudden urge to eat sweets after a stressful period, that impulse to hoard food, even knowing the fridge is full, It's not a lack of discipline. It's an ancient system, trained during hundreds of thousands of years of food uncertainty, trying to protect you from a famine that, for most people reading this right now, simply isn't going to come. There is also a specific myth that deserves to be carefully dismantled. The idea that there was a single ancestral diet, valid for all of humanity, everywhere, at the same time. That never existed. Populations living near the Arctic consumed diets extremely rich in animal fat. Populations in tropical rainforests relied heavily on tubers, fruits, and insects. Coastal populations ate fish and seafood as their staple. Your body didn't inherit a fixed recipe. It inherited an ability to adapt. This is uncomfortable for those who like simple answers, but it is liberating for those who truly want to understand their own biology. Go back to the breakfast table, the same one from the opening of this video. The bread, the egg, the cut fruit. None of these foods existed in exactly this form 100,000 years ago, but the principle behind them did: diversity, processing, opportunistic use of any available energy source. You are not betraying your ancestors by eating a varied diet. Without realizing it, you are repeating the exact strategy that allowed them to survive. So next time someone tells you there is a single natural way to eat, it's worth remembering the starch-filled Neanderthal teeth, the large-brained primates that ate everything, the campfires that may have built the very human capacity to think. The real history of human eating is not about restriction, it's about flexibility. Tonight when you sit down for dinner, maybe you'll think twice about what's on your plate. Because the real answer about what to put on it has never been as simple as a diet label promised. And maybe that is exactly the most human heritage you carry, not a fixed rule about food, but the infinite capacity to adapt to it.